Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
And everybody, welcome to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison. Good evening, Razorback Nation. It is Thursday, November 7th, 2024, and we are here live at Torchys in Rogers, as we are every Thursday night. I want to say a huge thank you to Marcus, Layton, and the crew here at Torchys for all of their great hospitality that they give us here each week. You can also click on the like and subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen to subscribe to the Hogville YouTube channel, where you can watch all of the past shows with Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and Marshall. Be sure to stop by either of the 2 Torchys locations in Rogers or Fayetteville here in Northwest Arkansas, which happens to only be the 2 only. Holy cow. It's Thursday night, y'all. You know how it gets. So the only locations in the great state of Arkansas. So make sure to stop by and grab some of their house-made queso that's made fresh daily. Here is the taco of the month, which is actually not a taco. It's the Gambler Quesadilla. That thing is fire, so you guys got to check that out as well. And also pair that with their queso, and you will open your taste buds to a whole new world. Also, if you're heading to Reynolds Razorback Stadium next Saturday, Marshall and myself will be live at 9 a.m. at the Torchys Tacos in Fayetteville. Listen, it's Arkansas, Texas. It's that old hated rivalry that's renewing itself again. Last time was 2021. Arkansas won 44-20. It's going to be a great game. I hope we're going to talk a little bit more about that too as well. So injuries and all kinds of stuff, but we'll get to that here shortly. Also, mention Hogville at the register, and you'll get a 15% off your total ticket at the register at either location in Rogers or Fayetteville. So make sure to mention Hogville and get that discount too as well. And I want to thank Carbless Cocktails, our new sponsor. Great to have them on board. You can see the little dib up there at the very top right-hand corner. So make sure to check out them. They have great products with the seltzers that I've tried a few of those, and basically what it is it's a clean seltzer, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, super clean aftertaste. Doesn't give you that sticky film in the back of your mouth that sometimes you find with some of the other seltzers. So make sure to check them out as well. They have all sorts of different flavors that you guys can try. So also, throw your comments, questions, concerns up here on the screen. We'll go over those. We'll bring you on as well. So let's go over this really quick. We're going to get it over with. We're going to rip the Band-Aid off and get this out of the way because, listen, there's just nothing good that can come from what happened last weekend. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to take myself off the screen. that's with that being said, you knew that he was going to come out and try to have the game of his life. And he did. He had great numbers. I'll have to bring up his stats here in just a second. But, whenever you've got a former Razorback and put so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into the program that he helped, bring along for 3 years, 4 years, yeah, of course, it's going to sting. And I know that he left. He left for NIL money and didn't get what he wanted here. He moved on. And for that matter, he decided he was going to come back and, he did what he had to do. And so I want to go over his stats here in just a second. So make sure to throw up your questions, comments, concerns. We will also be announcing the winner of the $25 Torchys gift card with also the hat and T-shirt. We'll be bringing those along here within the next, I'd probably say we'll have it up tomorrow morning on social media so that y'all can figure out who exactly got the closest. Now, I'll open it up to hogville.net on the message boards as well. Been getting some traction on social media, but whenever we opened it up to the message boards, it got a huge number of responses, so we'll have to go over those as well. Last week, I want to bring it up because I think that, Chris decided that he was going to be a man on a mission last week, and that Ole Miss defense is stiff. I've been telling you, it's stingy. It was hard to. Arkansas had a hard time moving the ball in some points, and that's honestly what one of the problems with that was. It was being able to move the ball between the tackles and to move the sticks. So let's again 6 total tackles for Pupal, 2 tackles for loss as well, and led the team in tackles as well. Xavier Sori, he also led the Razorbacks with 13 tackles, 6 solo, had 2 tackles for loss. The linebackers really showed out. They did a great job trying to keep everything in front of them, on the defense or in the front 7. I don't know. Ole Miss ran 42 times, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Those were pretty stout yards because you had Jackson Dart run 10 carries for 47 yards, Dominic Thomas 10 carries, 41 yards, and Henry Parrish Jr. 10 carries for 22 yards. So it wasn't a single guy that really hurt Arkansas. Arkansas was able to keep a lot of that in front of them. It's just that they were kind of tipping plays a little bit on that front 7 or how they were kind of aligning in the back. That was giving Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss a little bit extra time and Jackson Dart to assess the defense and make those adjustments on the fly. You cannot give up 49 points in 2 quarters, especially whenever you're giving Ole Miss the ball back in the start of the second half. I understand where Bobby was coming from, winning the toss, taking the ball. He wanted to put pressure on the Ole Miss defense. It didn't happen. Malachi Singleton, he was 11 for 14, 207 yards, touchdown. And also Taylen Green, 10 of 14 for 158 yards. You didn't see Braylon Russell again. There's curious to kind of what's going on there a little bit, but we don't. Injury, this, that, the other. I have to see, see if anything else shakes out over the off week. So we can again make sure to throw up those comments, questions, concerns as we go along this evening. Otis is out tonight. Reason why? It's off week. Got to give the guy a rest for a little bit. He works his rump off each and every day for Hogville and for Pig Trail Nation. So it's a good good time to give him a little bit of a well-rested evening. So him and the bulldog and ferret and all other animals that he has at the Otis Kirk exotic zoo at the house, and give him some time off of the pets and stuff. So yeah, everybody, I want to thank you again for joining us here at Torchys Tacos in Rogers. So let's talk a little bit about some football. Most notably, let's talk a little bit about the young guns. That's what I want to go at. I want to go at it right out from the get-go. Because, listen, You have Selman Bridges, top 50 recruit coming in last year. He's a safety. I mean, after what happened last weekend, you cannot afford to keep some of these guys on the bench and see if they can make an impact in the game. You have to, because you cannot sit there and get torched like you did last week against Jackson Dart. Now you got Quinn Ewers. Well, I'm sorry, not Quinn Ewers. You got Quinn Ewers coming into town, and with the Texas defense giving up 11.5 points a game, which is third in the country in FBS, you cannot try to outgun these guys on the offensive side of the ball. It depends also with Taylen Green. How healthy is he going to be? How healthy is that knee going to be? You saw him try to go after he got it wrapped in the tent. His mobility was decreased. It all stems from what happened in LSU against LSU a couple of weeks ago. Re-injures it again, gets smashed pretty good. I mean, it was two guys that pretty much pancaked him. And give the guy some kudos on that. He got some grit going on, but he really, really took it to the chin on that one, to the knee, really. But his fire and his competitiveness, it shows. It shows. And that's where that's the kind of quarterback you want. Now, don't get me wrong. Whenever you give up the amount of turnovers that Arkansas did last week, they're not a team that can overcome those. We've talked about this. Arkansas can overcome some stupid penalties here and there. They are good enough to do that. They're not good enough to overcome turnovers. If they win the turnover battle, we've seen it before. They win. Mississippi State, 5 turnovers. Auburn, 5 turnovers. Those are both wins. Arkansas has an opportunity to become bowl eligible next week. Will they? I don't know. But the week after, most definitely they will. La Tech, they will become bowl eligible. Missouri, that's an interesting thing. We'll talk about them when we go around the SEC here in a little bit. So, with that being said, the young guns. You got Selman Bridges. You have TJ Metcalf. You have Tevis Metcalf. You have some young guys back there. You also and Hudson Clark. Don't get me wrong, dude's a gamer. I mean, Marshall and I have talked about it when we were at the Fayetteville location on last Saturday. He's a guy that has his nose around the ball, and he's one of those guys you really can't afford to take off the field because of some of the intangibles that he has. He's able to get to different spots easier than maybe some of the younger guys because he's been there before. He knows it. But still, at the same time, you got to be able to be willing to almost live and die by the young kids coming in. So I think that's where Arkansas is a little bit. I know that T. Will is going to do a little bit more experimenting in the backfield, shaking some things up. Whenever you give up 600 and almost 700 yards of offense, 694 yards of offense, you cannot not shake things up a little bit. So that secondary, I want to see what's going to happen. I'm sure that Sam's going to mention a little bit more about that next week whenever he comes out for his Monday press conference. Things mostly are pretty much shut down for the rest of the week. Players get Saturday off and get a little bit of recoup, R&R. They deserve it. I know that Sam, before the LSU game, was undefeated off of the bye week. That was the first loss Sam has had as a head coach coming off of a bye week in his career here at Arkansas. I don't want to say it's going to be 2 in a row, but you never know. Listen, you saw what happened with Diego Pavia. I know that he didn't have the greatest game against Texas at Nashville or at Vanderbilt, but they exposed Texas to some things that some of the other teams really hadn't had a chance to. Clark Lee's a genius on defense, too. You have to give it to him. He kept that game within striking distance. 27-24 loss is nothing to hang your hat off of. Hang your hat off of because not on, off. Because you held a team that has been back and forth number 1 in the nation most of the season to 27 points. So I think that Key Will's going to go back. He's going to look at some of that tape. He's going to look and see what Vanderbilt did well scheme-wise. How can he fit that into the defensive secondary Arkansas has? And see if he can put those X's and O's and make it fly for the Jimmies and the Joes. That's the name of the game. So we'll have to see. And let's go here. Let's keep moving on, y'all. Also, if you have any comments, questions, throw those up there. We'll go over those and have our usual suspects. And James Riley, I appreciate him and a few others that go on every time I wake up. I see a huge list of notifications on my phone from the Hogville Facebook page. He goes on there, him and a couple of others. I'm going to pull them up and I'll mention them after the break here shortly. They consistently, are on with our content. They're reading it, they're watching it, and we really appreciate them as they get on there, and highly encourage you all to as well. Again, all of our content is free, so no paywalls here. So we're going to take a quick break here for just a moment. We are here live at Torchys and Rogers. On the other side of the break, and it's going to be a little bit of a shortened episode tonight. It is the off week. We're going to talk a little bit about the SEC, the games that we have coming up this week, and also a little bit of a preview to Arkansas, Texas, just to kind of wet your whistle a little bit before Otis and I get into it next Thursday. So I'll take care just for – man, I can't talk tonight. So it'll be just a few minutes, and we'll be back on here in just a minute.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
And everybody, welcome back to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight here at Torchys Tacos in Rogers. We are live every Thursday night at 7 p.m., so be sure to join us. Also, click the like and subscribe button to our YouTube channel so that way you can catch all of our shows either live or all the past shows with either Kevin, Marshall, Otis, or Dudley. So also, make sure to try the taco of the month, which happens to be this guy right here. Let's pull it back up. That would be the Gambler Quesadilla. That thing is fire. I'm going to tell you what, I tried that last week. You will not be disappointed. So try that out. I'm telling you, listen, it's Texas, so it's the big-ass gambler. No way around that one. So again, thank you all for joining us this evening. So let's take a look a little bit at the SEC coming up this weekend. So first and foremost, 11 a.m. ABC, one of the games of the week. You got Florida, 4-4, and they're 3-2 in the SEC, taking on Texas at Texas, 7-1. They're 3-1. Texas is a 22.5 point favorite. And I don't think that is a correct number. There's been times where I have been pretty close. I think I'm going to be close on this one too. I think that Florida is going to be able to play Texas almost as close as they did Georgia last week. Billy Napier, it seems like every time people spurn that guy, he just has his team come out and produce even more. Last week, they took Georgia down to the wire. Georgia had to score two quick touchdowns at the end of the fourth quarter to make it a 14-point game. At that point, it was neck and neck. I mean, Florida even had an early lead. I don't think it was a letdown game. I don't think this could be a letdown game. I think this is the fact that those Gators are starting to have more confidence, and they're playing it. They're playing with it. And so I think that you'll I think it's going to be a closer game. Personally, I think it is going to be a closer game. So, again, 11 a.m. ABC. If I am not mistaken, also, this is the first time that that Florida and Texas have played. And so I think that it should be a fun matchup. Let me pull something up really quick here. In the meantime, I also want to thank Torchys and also Carbless. I'm going to give a plug for Carbless really quick. They are the no carb, no sugar cocktail with flavor. You have got all sorts of different flavors that you can choose from. They have them here exclusively at Torchys Tacos as well. I think that it was a really great pairing with any of their tacos with the carbless cocktails. I think that you guys would be really enjoy those. So you should try those out as well. They just jumped on as a little bit of sponsorship thing-ish, sort of, but it's been great so far. Katie's really done a great job, and I want to appreciate all her hard work that she has done for us. Get these pulled up here. So I think this is really going to help. I think it's going to be really good. Let's see. And sorry about for the dead air tonight. Usually Otis is able to fill out the dead air for us, and I'm going to tell you what, he does a great job of all the continual analysis, information. The guy is just, he has a wealth of knowledge, and that's why I love doing the show with him each and every week. So I just kind of a fish out of water tonight. I'm not going to lie one bit, y'all. And now, let's bring this up. Where'd this go? There it is. So I want to get some information correctly whenever I put it here. Okay, so okay. So I've got Florida losing 31 or 34-21 to Texas. You know, that's, again, I don't think that the spread is correct on that one. So that's why I really I feel pretty confident that the bettors out there, I think they've missed the beat a little bit on this. So next game up is Georgia at Ole Miss. Have SEC media or SEC Nation will be there for that one. And actually, no, I am in. Yep. SEC Nation will be there for that one. Georgia 7-1, third in the country, taking on Ole Miss, which just of course y'all know just ran a train right through Razorback Stadium. 2:30 ABC. If Georgia coming in as a 2.5-point favorite, I that one really kind of makes me scratch my head just a little bit. Where is this at? I've got. Here's the thing too. Georgia's had a couple of close scares. You had Mississippi State; they only beat them by 10 points. You had Florida only beat them by 14 points. I think this is where Lane and Ole Miss get right. They get their names back into the CFP playoff conversation. This is about the right time of the year to do that because you got some teams that are kind of on the teetering edge. This is Ole Miss's last chance to really make an impression on the CFP panel because after this, I'm looking here. I do believe that they have the Egg Bowl, and they've got one other game after that. This is, like I said, this is the last time for them to make a real push to put their name into the CFP. I think that they do capitalize on it. I don't think that Georgia's going to walk out of here with a win. I think it's going to be their second loss, and I think it's really going to cause some conundrums in that room whenever they start to talk about some of these teams because, as you know, the SEC starts to cannibalize itself towards this part of the season, and I really believe that it is going to cause some problems. So, again, 2:30 ABC this Saturday afternoon. So, South Carolina, man, Lenora Sellers, dude was on a mission. Him and Rocket Sanders. Rocket had 20 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lenora Sellers pretty much put the game away. South Carolina defense had Marcel Reed on the run. I don't know what happened. You go from LSU week, played incredible, came in for Connor Wegman, did a great job, and then all of a sudden, take him on the road to Williams-Brice Stadium, which that place is a hard stadium to play at nonetheless. You cannot give up a pick six whenever the game is so close towards the end of the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden it completely changes the entire outlook because at that point it could have really kind of went any way of it as long as they were able to be a little bit more efficient offense. It just wasn't happening. It was South Carolina's night. South Carolina travels to Vanderbilt, 3:15 on the SEC network. South Carolina is a 4.5-point favorite. Folks, Vanderbilt is bowl eligible. First time since 2018. Slipped back out of the top 25. I get that. That's fine. Coming in off of a bye week, they are taking on South Carolina. And I really feel like I've got a pretty good beat on this Vanderbilt team. I think Vanderbilt not only covers, they win at home. They're super stingy at home. And I nobody wants to go into Nashville this year and play Vanderbilt. It's just talk to Alabama, talk to Texas. It's two of the best teams in the SEC and in the country. One lost and one damn near lost. So I really think that South Carolina's riding that high. I think that they do believe in themselves, but at the same time, I really think that there's going to be a letdown here. I really do. I think that Vanderbilt's going to win. I've got them winning 27-20. So to the evening portion of the slate, you've got Mississippi State taking on Tennessee. Tennessee didn't fare too well last week against Kentucky. Just about got beat 128-18. Nico Iamaleava did not look great. And it was Dylan Sampson. Dude has been a beast this year. 171 carries, 980 yards, leads the league in carries, yards, and 19 touchdowns, which is tops again in the SEC. The run game has been what's carrying this offense, which are only averaging 22.5 points, or just right around 22.5 points a game in the SEC, because I really feel like that offensive line has, as far as pass blocking goes, has not done Nico any favors. So I think this is where they get right. They're a 24.5-point favorite. It's going to be on ESPN at 6 p.m. And it's going to be an interesting situation because Mississippi State 2 weeks ago gave up 58 points to Arkansas. This Tennessee offense is licking their chops. They are ready to put 70 on Mississippi State, and I really think that might happen. So Might be one of those ones that's over by halftime because you have LSU, Alabama right after that. So 6:30 ABC, you have LSU taking on Alabama. They are hosting the Tide ESPN Game Day will be live. I guess that they're going to bring the Mike the Live Tiger back out. They used to saw that there was a story where they would keep the live tiger by the opposing team's dressing room, so the team, as they're getting ready, they could hear the lion, rumble, growl, do whatever he was doing, just for that extra added effect of trying to get under their skin a little bit, make them uneasy. So Alabama has a great shot at cementing themselves in the CFP with a win at LSU. They are a 2.5-point favorite coming in tonight, in Saturday night. LSU 6-2, 3-1 in the SEC. Alabama 6-2 and 3-2. Garrett Nussmeier, he has got to be effective against that Alabama front seven. And what I mean by that is setting up the run with the pass. If he does not do that, LSU has no chance. No chance at all. But if he's able to do like what he did against Arkansas, dink and dunk, work the sides, not go deep, it could spell for a long day for Alabama, a long night for Alabama. So we'll have to see. Again, 6:30 on ABC. That is going to be the prime time game of the night. I have got Alabama in a close one, winning 21-20. I do not think that they cover, but I do believe that they win. Here is the most insane game you could think of this weekend. Number 24 Missouri hosting Oklahoma. OU is a 3-point favorite. 5-4 on the season. Brent Venables' offense is sputtering. Jackson, I don't get how an Oklahoma running back, it took them 10 weeks to finally have a 100-yard rusher. You finally did. Barnes finally, dude was a man on a mission last week. I'm trying to look up here what exactly. Yeah, 18 carries, 203 yards, and 3 scores. He finally had a running back from Oklahoma look like a running back from Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold has got to be able to benefit from him. And if that happens, Javonte set up Jackson Arnold and that offense great last week in their win against Maine. They're coming in facing a Missouri team that, quite frankly, is sputtering. Not only sputtering, I think that they are starting to spin out of control a little bit. I understand that they're 6-2. They've been finding some ways to win. They had a hell of a time beating Auburn. They got skunked against Alabama. They got throttled by A&M. And Oklahoma has got to win to have any sort of a chance of going to a bowl, because their last 2 games are LSU and Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama and LSU is what it is. So if Oklahoma wants to get into a bowl, this is going to be the game that they have to do that at. As they get the 6 wins, they're in. That's all fine and dandy. I just don't think that Missouri is going to be able to pull this one out. Brady Cook is a game time decision at best. He was listed yesterday as questionable going into this weekend. Be another update on Friday, and then, of course, another one on Saturday. I think that he'll be a game time decision. It's 6:45 on the SEC network. So if he does not go, it's going to be Drew Payne's team to lead them. They have got to get the ball to Theo Weiss and company. They have to. If they can't, Missouri's doomed. And I know that Otis would love to hear that, because he just he hates Eli. He hates Hugh Sleaze, as he likes to call him. So let's talk a little bit about and that's the SEC today. So let's talk a little bit about this Texas game coming up. You have Texas was on a bye week, and then they get the Gators at home, and then they come to Arkansas next week. It would be a magnificent thing for Florida to really kind of soften up Texas just a little bit, because Arkansas could probably use the help a little bit. Let's just face it. Defensive secondary here at Arkansas has not been the best, and so they will have to they're going to have to take a deep look. T-Will is going to have to look at that defense. Him and Coach Woodson are going to have to go and plan a scheme that is going to not only disrupt Quinn Ewers' timing, but being able to get Landon Jackson on single coverage or one-on-one on the defensive front. Get a guy up there that can really get him that one-on-one look, because whenever he does, he is a man on a mission. That's what they have to do. I think that Andrew Farr, he has done a great job so far. Him, Nico Davier, Anton Juncash, all of those guys have been great in support of getting Landon that one-on-one matchup that they really need, because he is that difference maker on the front line, on the front seven of Arkansas. Xavier Sorey has been everywhere, but the reason why Xavier Sorey has been able to clean up a lot of his tackles is because of the pressure that Landon Jackson has been putting on the quarterback. Jackson Dart, he felt it, but again, the secondary let him down, and they have got to do something about that. So I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight here, going solo at Torchys here in Rogers. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight, and I think that it's been touch and go a little bit. I understand that, and I want to thank you guys for really kind of sticking it out with me, as again, I'm used to having Otis by my side and wasn't quite here tonight. He was getting a night off and wanted to give the guy a good rest. So for myself, Jason, and for everybody here at hogville.net, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight, and this has been the Arkansas Football Report. Good night and go Hogs.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.